Top of the morning to you good old-fashioned glorious rapscallion bastards. My name is FOXSOL. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more Wuthering Waves. And today I'm going to do something that I really don't want to do. And if you read it from the title of this video, as it is anyway, and from the thumbnail. But we're going to be touching tier list. What I consider to be, you know, the best characters to the worst characters in the game. Now, disclaimer-wise, before we get into this, I'm going to straight up say that I think tier lists are bullshit. Tier lists go up, tier lists go down. In my personal preference, if you like the fucking character, you like the character. If you could do whatever you want. So just take this with a grain of salt. I'm just going to give my opinion on the characters and where I put them at. You do not have to agree. You do not have to disagree. Whatever. You can criticize it all you want. You do you, I do me, and we'll all be good. How's that sound? All right. Well, let's get started. Alrighty, so we got our tier list up in here, and I have from SS all the way down to D and no comment. So just to go ahead and put down what the no comment section is that I have put all the Rover, Spectro, everything they have for Rover in this list. We're not going to discuss Rover. We're not putting Rover in this list at all. Reason being is that I don't consider Rover a character that I would ever play. I only touch it in the story mode. It is me. It's my character. You could place Rover wherever the hell you want to in a tier list, but for me, I find a character sluggish thing, and I don't want to play it. And I have no opinion whether they're bad or whether they're good. And they could be completely honest. With the two newest characters, Yao and ZZ, coming in, I'm also gonna put them in the no comment section until they're officially released in August, and we can actually play with them and work with them to actually see where they would fit on the tier list. I mean, I have an idea from reading their builds and everything, basically where they should be at, but I don't want to actually go ahead and put them on that list until they're officially out. So this tier list will get updated later on. So let's get started in the all general aspect, starting from backwards to forward on all this. So when it comes to Yang Yang, I'm going to put Yang Yang as a C tier character. I don't play her, but in the beginning, she was she's relatively very decent. She's very good. She's supportive. She's a supportive sub DPS, and she did her job. She got me through the beginning part of the game until I started summoning characters. But relatively, I don't find her appealing. I don't find her gameplay style anything exciting for me. So with her, with Yuan here, with him, these are going to be basically the three characters. I'm going to put Naruto. I'm going to put these three all in the C tier. These are characters that I've played a little bit of, but in general aspect, I did not like the play style. I did not like the way they looked in regards. I didn't like certain things about the characters, which just made me put them on the very back end burner to where I don't care. I mean, I probably should put them in the no comment section, but the problem is I did play a little bit of them. I tried using them. I just didn't feel comfortable with putting them on any of my teams and felt like they were worth actually upgrading. So these are our 4-star characters that I will have, our 3 4-star characters that I will automatically throw them all in C for those reasons. Now, when it's going to come up to our next girl here, which is our Virgil girl, I'm going to put her right now. Yeah, I'm going to put her right now as a solid B. And the only reason being is that I find that she is a great sub DPS. She's very underrated. She's the Virgil of this game. She's very flashy and everything else. And she would work really well with Lin Yang in particular. And in all honesty, I think that, yeah, she is really good to a certain degree. But other characters really outshine her. When I first started the game and I got her for free because the game gave it to you for free, she was the character that I was like, oh man, I'm gonna make this my main DPS. But like I said, when we start getting these 5-star characters coming in, the 4-star characters start looking a little sloppy, and they're not as good as your 5 stars. And I noticed that with her, to where it's like, yeah, she's good with her outro skill to help, lift up the basic attack damage. So for someone like Lin Yang, she is really good in helping him with his damage output. Straight up. So I feel like she's a little bit better than a C or a D. I feel like she should be right at the B. There's a few things I think, makes it to where she is not as good as for an A tier list character yet. And that's just because, again, she's getting outshined by other characters in the game that really deserve the A, S, and SS slot. So we're going to leave it like that. When it comes to Baichi, this is going to be, to me, actually, yeah, I'm going to put her in A, not S. I'm going to put her in A. I'm going to say that she is going to be in the A tier for a healer. This is actually my main support. This is my main healer, my main support character that is pretty much on all my main teams, that when I use them, because legitimately she's very easy to use. And if depending on how you build her with her echo set and everything else, you can do some extremes amount of healing with her. And relatively, the character is just, in all honesty, getting her even to summon 6 and everything, having the ability to where if one of your main DPS, for example, dies, they get resurrected, and then the cooldown's only 10 minutes. So you have a second chance opportunity. She's very good. She is legitimately one of my favorite characters that I will add into my teams. So I'll put her in the A slot. No big deal. When it comes to my boy, Mortify, or Mortify, however you want to pronounce it, he's going straight into the A tier. And the reason being is that I have played with this son of a bitch so much. When it comes to Jiyan, for example, when it comes to even Jinshi, he offers a lot of opportunity, and the way I have built him is completely energy region sufficient, to where his job is to come in, pop his ult, pop his skill, get the hell out. And especially with a team like Jiyan, where Jiyan, every one of his attacks converts into heavy attack, he helps buff the shit out of it with his outro skill to up to 38% for 14 seconds, or until the resonator's changed off the screen. And he is a true sub DPS that helps support the main DPS very well, especially in that regards for someone like Jiyan. I'm putting him in A tier because I put him on good teams that require, like for Jinshi, he helps build up the enchantment, in my personal opinion, faster than Yinlin and faster than our boy over here with the fedora. Okay, so on my Jinshi team, on my GN team, he is a very valuable asset. And future wise, he's going to go back on the GN team, because this character right here, which is ZZ, I'm going to call her, she's going to probably be in the S tier ranking. I'll put her in no comment, but she's going to be doing the same thing. She's going to be doing something that's going to help Jinshi out, or even Changli out, to where she's going to be boosting up the resonant skill damage by 48% for like 14 seconds or so. So this is going to be definitely the future character that's going to be with probably the Jinshi team. So just saying that on my Mortify is probably going to go back to Jinyan. Tao. I'm going to put Tao, in all honesty, in the C tier class. Even though she is on my team and she is very useful for one purpose, but that is it. That's all she is there for. She is only useful for one clear thing, and that is boosting the resonant skill damage for my Changli. That is it. She comes onto the field. I am currently building her right now with energy, basically like Mortify, to where she's going to have energy regen up the ass. So that way we can get her on the screen and off the screen as fast as possible, just to ensure that Changli has the ability to pop her resonance skills and have that buff of 38%. So I'm going to put it that way. She is only got one useful thing for me. I would rank her up higher. I would rank her up to B tier. Don't get me wrong, because she's got some beautiful assets. But in the idea of this tier list, we're talking about practicality. We're not just talking about aesthetic. We're also talking about practicality here. And in all honesty, she's replaceable. She's not really necessary to the team. She's very replaceable, and the only practicality I have for her is just for a resident skill boost. That's it. She's supposed to be a supportive character that only heals herself, but provides a shield for her team. In all honesty, I liked her in the beginning, but when you, like I said, once you start getting characters in this, certain ones like her just fall down on the list. Oh, gee. I'm going to put you in the B tier listing for one reason and one reason only. You in the beginning was a great character. You were good. I actually used you mainly as a sub DPS plus as a main DPS. You did your job really well. You're the Dante of this game. You're very underrated. But again, when it comes down to when you get someone like Encore or Changli, who are fusion people as well, fusion units, you're not as practical as they are. You do the damage to a certain degree, but as a free unit, you're better than a C tier. You still do more than what Tao and the others do, in my personal opinion, but you still fall off on the chart to be in anywhere near an A ranking or higher. That's where I'm going to put you at. You're good in the beginning. So like if you're a person who, you're starting out and this is one of the free characters you automatically are going to get, she is very good to run. She does her job well. But the moment you start getting like Mortify and you start getting other characters that you're going to be summoning for, she, like I said, she comes down on the list. Jiyan. Glass cannon that kills herself, but it's fun to play. I'm going to be honest, I have worked with her a little bit, but again, she's another one that I dropped. The practicality of her as a glass cannon, I don't see the damage output as much as possible that I think that she should be doing. I would love to put her on the B tier. This is where I'm going to be really hard debating myself, but her usefulness and her practicality as a DPS. Let me take a quick look at something while I'm thinking about it. Just want to double check. Incoming Resonator has their havoc damage amplified by 23% for 14 seconds. Internet attack increase 5%. Resonance skill increases by 30%. Yeah, I'm just like, all of this is not that impressive to me. Like, heavy attack increases the attack of all teamers by 20%. Your sub DPS that legitimately, like, without the other characters, yeah, you would be, because I would put you higher on the list, but from everyone I've played so far, I'm sorry, Jiyan is going to have to go as a C tier as well. She's still useful. She is still one of the easiest 4 stars to summon for that you'll probably get a bunch of, just like I did. But her usefulness future wise, when you're building your 3 teams or your 4 teams, however many teams you want to build, my 3 main teams, she never made the list. I would say that future wise, when other Havoc characters come in, she might be, because of that outro skill, she may be able to come in and be quite useful with that outro skill to help benefit a true Havoc DPS character. But as this out of this point in time, I'm gonna leave her on a C tier, put her down there, and let it be. So far, this is the list when it's going to come down to all our 4 stars. Some of them I'm debating right now in my head if I really want to keep them there because, like, honestly, Fedora, man, I really want to put him in D tier because I mean, in all honesty, I don't see the usefulness for him. Like, Wan Wu here, man. Just double check it's something. Yeah. With a Thunderbolt Wedge, blazing, 200% shield, gain defense. I mean, you do get a shield. He is supportive, but again, you get Yinlin, right? Who's another supportive electric character that does better. And in all honesty, like your outro skill with the wedge, he unleashes thunderbolts in the area and center around the skill target, greatly reduces the vibration strength of enemies on impact. I've never had to worry about the vibration strength of an enemy ever. Like legitimately. So I'm putting him down D. I'm changing my opinion. I'm putting him down in the D tier. Because legitimately, I've never had any worries about that. I kill everything with ease, His usefulness, I've tried him a couple of times. I just don't see it. I really don't. So I'm dropping him down. I feel like other characters deserve to be in C tier, B tier, and A tier. But him, I just can't see it. No, I can't see it. Alto, I can see, him working very well with Jiyan when an aerial team. I could see that really well. Yang Yang right there, to be honest. Yang Yang could probably be put into D tier as well, but because she's a free unit as well as thing, she actually does help you out in the beginning a little bit, so she is actually somewhat useful in some regards. So I'm gonna leave her in the C tier. Now let's get to our 5-star tiers and let's get this video over and done with, because instantaneously we're going with Changli. She'd go SS tier. Done. I don't care what anyone says. This right here is main DPS. This right here is sub DPS. This right here is support. This character right here is fucking God. This character is noob. This character comes in and just destroys. This character is beautiful. This character is my mother. This character is mommy. This character is the love of my life. This character can go ahead and step on my face and I will do whatever it takes to make her happy. Done. Deal. Over. That's me being completely biased. I'm being biased as hell. When it comes to Jinshi, I'm putting Jinshi right under her at S tier. And the only reason why I'm putting her S tier right now is because, in all honesty, she's good. Don't get me wrong. She's got fucking bonus damage out of the ass. She is pure raw stat. You could do a 4-4-1-1-1 echo set on her, and she hits like a fucking truck. Don't get me wrong. I would classify her at SS tier, but that SS tier only one person belongs in there, and no one's taking her place away. So Jinshi, automatically S tier. When it comes to Yinlin, I'm putting Yinlin also in the S tier bracket. Now, the reason why we're putting Yinlin in the S tier bracket is because A, yeah, she's a fucking redhead. B, she's also Dami Mommy. And C, yes, I would love it if she would wrap her those cords around my neck and go ahead and put her foot in the back of my head and tell me that I'm a good dog. However, she is very good. She has the ability to go ahead and mark down all the enemies in the area with her skill. With her charged up skill. She can do that with her alt. She is actually very well with Cal. Both of them together as an electrical part team with a support fucking are like 2 peas in a pod, crack damage that she is very fucking useful for an electric team, especially with her alt that increases the electro damage and the liberation damage. Same thing for Changli. If you use her as a sub DPS, it's the same principal purpose. She does the same thing for fusion. So, but in this case scenario, you can technically make Yinlin a DPS, and you can also make her a sub DPS. I find she's better as a sub DPS. And that right there, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab them anyway. It works very well with Cal. Both of these characters together are very strong characters. They work really well together, and they're part of a team with a healer that just outshines everything. Straight up, best characters that I've seen that work very well in unison together. So, yeah, take it for what it is. Now, we're going to go with Jiyan. And Jiyan, I will have to put him also in the S tier bracket. And the reason why Jiyan's going into the S tier bracket is not because he is a strategist, not because he looks good, not because, the character is cool. It's because the character is a crayon eating, paint sniffing, simple as fucking brain dead character of this game that does fucking incredible damage. And if you associate him with the proper team composition, you will see a character that with 2 momentum stacks, you pop your alt, and all you gotta do is just hold a button down and just do heavies all day long, and you just annihilate things. There is no thinking with Jiyan. There is no like, oh, I gotta do this type of rotational. No. Jiyan is the entire principle of Jiyan is to be the most simplest 5-star character in the entire game, that he just does whatever the hell he wants and he gets damage out of it. Think of a fighting game. Think of Guilty Gear Strive if you ever played it. There's a character in there called Soul Bad Guy. And Soul Bad Guy was a character that legitimately, when a person tells you that you're playing like Soul, it's not really a compliment. Soul does Soul things, and it's just what it is. It's just how it sounds. The character pretty much has good buttons, and typically people just play without thinking and they win. It is take your face, put it on the keyboard, and roll it around, and I guarantee you will kill things very easily with the character. You just build him, and you let him loose, and you don't question it. He is an ADHD child that just had a sugar rush. That is just how he is. We're going to go to my boy Lin Yang here. Lin Yang, I'm putting you in the B tier. I think that Lin Yang is a good DPS. However, compared to what we have at the top up here on this list from the SS to the S tiers, Lin Yang's damage does not come close to these characters. So when it comes to Lin Yang, in my personal opinion, he's a bruiser. He's a fighting character that punches shit, and I love it. I love his unique style to him. But the problem is that it's just when you see numbers that any other characters at the top do, like Changli or Jiyan, Lin Yang is so far behind them that legitimately he's good as a 5-star, but he's not great. And I don't think he's great as even an A tier. I think legitimately he has to be put in the B tier. He is at the same level as his other DPS right here, the Virgil girl, fucking Shanhua here. Same thing. Like, they're good, they're decent, but you can even do without them. There's nothing really that forces me to really say, oh, I really want to play Lin Yang, when other characters have better specials, better attack, better damage when it comes to them. So B tier it is for the son of a bitch. That leaves us with the last 3 characters. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with our monk girl, Jiyan Shi here. And I'm going to put her in A tier. And there's a reason why. She has saved my ass on my aerial team with Jiyan multiple times. She's a healer. She can be a DPS, a sub DPS, and she can provide a shield. And the thing about it is that when you go against something like the holographic bosses, like the Tempest Thunder over there, or Tempest Memphis, whatever the hell his name is, and they do that doppelganger fucking bullshit with the fucking goddamn judgment cut lasers, she can parry straight through that shit. You don't have to worry about fucking dodging at the right second. You can parry through that shit with the right build and making her into a tank, and like I have done, she has come from basically my original thought as a C tier all the way to an A tier just because of that principle. The character legitimately, I feel, is very underrated. I feel that if a lot more people would actually, because I read this on Reddit, I've read this on Discord, even through Twitter, that some people like her, but a lot of them just classify her as like, yeah, she's decent. She's like, Lin Yang, put her in B tier. I could put her in B tier, but the thing is, I see that there is another use for her, which is the supportive side, the healing side. That I'm healing my characters close to 3,000 for every 6 seconds for 30 seconds. They get a shield that's adapted to them for a little while, to where she has done for tower adversity and holographic bosses. She has saved Jiyan's ass multiple fucking times. So she's going to be an A tier listing for me just because of that. She's very useful. She's not the best support, but she is. I would actually say, like, if you would have a mid tier between A and B, that's where she would be at. That Bai Chi would still be higher than her, but I'm going to classify her at A for that reason. Now that it goes down to the next two characters, Encore. I was building up Encore. I was working with Encore. Encore, don't particularly like playing Encore or Verandair because they're the lolly characters. I don't like cutesy little things in here. I don't like playing cutesy little characters, but when I was looking for a DPS before Changli and before Jinshi, we were working with Encore. She did help me get through Tower Adversity. She is a good DPS. She does do great fusion damage. I think she's very well useful. She has her uses, and I think that in the proper hands with the right person who would build the character and use the character, that she would be exceptional as a main fusion DPS without a doubt. From the couple of days to a week or so that I built her up and played with her, I saw it. It's just that the character's not really appealing to me. But because I saw what I saw, I have to put her into the A tier. Simple as that. We'll leave it right there. And this leads me to the final character, which is a supportive character, Varan. And I am going to mark her into the S tier. And the reason being is that compared to the other two supports, well, technically 3 supports on this, or 4 supports, but I don't consider them supports. I consider support heals. Compared to the other two that's in the A tier, the only reason why she is going to be higher up there is because legitimately, I have not built her this way, but I have watched a friend of mine play with her. She is his healer. He has built her up. And I saw the amount of healing, and I saw that she also cranks up the attack damage buffing onto the main DPS and the others on the team. She basically has more ability, faster buffing, and faster healing than the other two, in my personal opinion, which makes her basically the most OP support in this game. I have to say that. I think that she is a S tier character. I think she belongs there. I think that I do need to build her up. I think I need to get her echoes. I think that I need to get her to level 90, and I need to put her onto my 3rd team and have her much more viable than what she is. But with my electric team, with Cal and with Yenlin, she has been doing extremely well to help with tower adversity and healing everybody when they're off the field, and does a great job of it. So and like I said, even with the attack damage buff on top of it and everything, she is legitimately probably the best support in the game. I don't have her as the best support, but I know the potential of what she can do. And it far outweighs what Bai Chi and what Jiyan Chi can do. I'm sorry. It just really does. And that's just how it is. But this is my tier list. This is where we're going at. You tell me what your thoughts of it is. Do you agree with my tier list? Do you disagree with my tier list? What is your tier list? Hell, leave in a comment down below. Tell me from your SSS all the way to your D tiers who you put in where. Send me a screenshot, on Discord, or put a link in the down below with a Guyzo or whatever. That's a screenshot to this, and I'll take a look at it, and we can discuss this. Maybe there's things that you can explain to me, the reason why you have characters in different places that would change my mind before we do the updated tier list come this August. So, otherwise than that, that's all I have for you guys. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you on the flip side. Peace.